What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am back from vacation. You guys may have seen the video, me recapping all of that for you. If you did, thank you. Make sure you gave it a thumbs up. But we are back to regular videos, back to doing the build on the RTR Spec 2 and other things. Right now, I'm on my way to Dallas, Texas, about 3.5 hours away to go pick up a bumper. And then when we get back, we'll do an update on all the parts for the RTR Spec 2. Okay, so I got back with the brand new bumper. Here it is. It's not perfect. There's some scratches and scrapes in it, but the color is going to be changed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. My biggest concern was making sure that all these tabs were good to hold the bumper in place, and so far so good. I got back and I started trying to see what all would transfer over into the new bumper. So of course the corner markers, those transfer over. This one is a little bit loose. I don't know, I might be able to put some type of sealant in there to make it stay, but that transferred over. Also the license plate lights, as well as the trunk opener, that all transfer over just fine. These little reflectors here will transfer over. I just gotta be careful taking them off of the old bumper to make sure that I don't break anything. See, there's like this little nut here on the back, but it's just onto some plastic. So I just gotta make sure when I take that off that I don't break that. But other than that, those will transfer over. Unfortunately, the reverse light doesn't transfer over. So if you look back here, it is the same shape, but where it bolts in and everything is different, so it won't reach up in there. So I don't know if this is something that maybe I can modify it to make it fit. Otherwise I'll just look to see what a new one of these costs and see if it's just cheaper to do that than waste my time trying to make it fit. Other than that, everything else is good. This one here did come equipped with the backup sensors, which my car didn't have. So that's one more thing I'm gonna have to look into. I gotta see if maybe I'm able to add the reverse sensors to mine. Otherwise we'll just block those off when we go and paint the bumper. All right, stepping in the garage, as you can see, I do have a few more pieces on the car than what I had before. So we have this Velocity blue hood here. This is off of a 19. Everything here seems to be in pretty good shape. Again, I was just making sure there was no bends, no major dents. I do have the hood scoops here, or the heat extractors, but I'm not going to use those. We're going to be switching those over to RTR. Also have a driver's side fender as well. If you look at the fender, everything looks good, everything lines up, but one thing that's different between the 15 to 17 and the 18 to 20 is you can see it's tucking here underneath the hood. So this bracket here is off from what it would be on a regular one. So what we have to do is we're gonna have to chop that bracket off and extend it out to go with the body line. That way, in case any of you are thinking about doing this as well, know that it won't be an exact bolt up. It works good. As you can see, all these other seams along here, it's just when you get to this front corner, this one needs to be adjusted. I also got a set of 18 to 20 taillights. If you look at these, they're tinted. The guy that I got them off of, he bought some Euro taillights. These are his original taillights. If you look at all the markings, they're original Ford product. So I started seeing if it was spray-on tint. So I got the majority of it off using gas, but then there's still some tint under here. But when, maybe you can see this, but if I look at it in the light, down here near the bottom, you can see it is a different color. It's more like the original. So I'm thinking there might be a film on this as well. I haven't really checked. I need to try and see if I can get that off, because I really don't want to have tinted taillights. These here, I didn't have to pay anything for these. The individual that got these off of me ended up trading me for that spoiler that came off of the trunk that I traded with Robbie. So those were free. Not really worried about telling you guys all the prices I pay on everything, so in case you guys want to do it, you know the cost that I've seen. The hood was $360. This fender here was $200, and then I was able to get this bumper here for $200. Everything else came from the Houston area except for this bumper, which I had to go up to Dallas to get. But everything that I've gotten, I got off of Facebook Marketplace. These here, I believe, were part of a Houston S550 group, but I also had my stuff listed on there through Marketplace, and that's how they were able to find me. So all we really need now is front bumper and passenger side fender headlights, and the PP spoiler. So that's what we're looking for. Not really a lot in the grand scheme of things. The Invoice is in for the RTR parts. So I have my side rocker splitters here. There's not really a difference between the 15 to 17 to 18 to 20. So those are staying on. I will have to get the quarter splitters for the rear bumper. I already have the rear diffuser for the rear bumper. If you guys remember, Gabby's car wasn't an active exhaust. To have the rear diffuser on here for an RTR, it has to be an active exhaust EcoBoost. GT doesn't matter because they come with the quad tip exhaust, but for the EcoBoost it has to be the active exhaust to get quad tips. Otherwise the spacing here isn't going to allow you to put in the RTR rear diffuser. So I have that. With the PP spoiler, I also have the RTR gurney flap here as well, so I don't need to order that. So the Invoice is going to cover the heat extractors, the RTR LED upper grille as well as the lower grille, the bumper vents. I'm going to be getting a new deck lid panel, and that's it for right now. I already have RTR wheels on it from the original package. We will be getting the RTR Spec 5 fender flares as well. So after everything here gets mocked up and we got the majority of the pieces, I will be looking to get the Spec 5 fender flares. If they're not in stock, which they are right now, but at the time I decided to do this, so they're not, there's a little bit of a lead time, so I'll have to wait to get those. But everything that I've got on here so far, like I said, I got off of Marketplace, and I also haven't really been spending out of pocket because I've been selling all the old parts off or trading to get the stuff. So right now, even though I've spent, what is that, $400 for the fender rear bumper, is it like $560? All that came from parts that I sold. So I still have the front bumper for sale, which is the premium front bumper with the fog lights. I have the rear bumper, which this is Robbie's rear bumper because to trade over he needed a premium bumper, so this is a base model GT bumper. I do have my original hood. I do have one fender. I got two sets of taillights, one that is in perfect condition, one that is chipped that I took off of a donor car. If you guys remember way back when I had the burnt up orange car that we were going to build into a drift car. I do still have some of Gabby's parts, so I have her front chin spoiler, her original spoiler. We also have her original suspension. I'm also selling the RTR Tactical Performance setup that we have. This was for Gabby's car originally. If you guys remember from the install video we took off of my car and put onto hers. Hers is still a Spec 2. This is the suspension that came with it, but we didn't really need it since everything was already mounted up and set up. So I am selling that as well. It comes with those top pieces where those are the top mounts. They are already pre-drilled. That way you don't have to do it for your own. I'll probably be selling the radiator as well because that's going to be switching over to Michimoto. So if you guys are in the Houston area and you want any of that stuff, let me know, hit me up, and we can get you that stuff. If you live outside of the Houston area, I'm not really a big fan of trying to mess with shipping on bumpers and fenders and stuff like that because I've done it before and it just sucks. But if you guys want something like a tail light or a headlight or anything like that, the suspension, I can set that up and we can take care of it. But that's completely up to you guys. It's not a merch plug. It's just me trying to help fund this build. So anybody out there who's doing their own build, you truly understand this as well. But that's about where we are for right now. And transmission sitting here, like I said, we're going to be reusing this transmission. We also have the engine sitting here as well. I haven't gone through it yet. Maybe we'll do that next video. Okay, so let's do that. Next video, we're going to start breaking down that engine, trying to see what went wrong with it. Drew says he'd like to take this thing and have us refurbish it and put it into the drift car, if at all possible. We'll see if we can do that. If it's nothing incredibly major, maybe we'll just try and see if we can get it back into this car here. But who knows, we'll see. But for now, that pretty much covers everything that we got going on. Thank you guys for tuning in again. If you guys didn't see my video about my trip to El Salvador, I do have that. There's a long one and there's a short version of it, so choose which one you want or watch both. Give them both a thumbs up the same way you would this video. Make sure to hit notifications on there after you subscribe if you haven't already. That way you can get all the videos up to date, and then you guys can come along on a ride for this build. Until next time, see ya. Peace. you.